Welcome to Toffee Blue View, your source for all things Everton. Gerry is here, Terry is here, Max is here, and that should be good enough for you, doggone it. Let's talk City preview, guys. Right now they're second in the table. That's all I'll say. They got a win yesterday, Champions League, and before that they lost. I'm glad they got that win out of their system, though. Because I was worried after losing to Chelsea we were going to catch them on the bounce.
Still went
and
behind.
That would be bad. Yeah. But regardless, they won. So now they've got a little. They're not as angry as they were, I'm hoping. So before that, they lost to Chelsea. I didn't expect it, but it happens. Right now, De Bruyne is still hurt. Mendy, David Silva, these are players there that are out. Aguero's probably not going to play. And there's a few players like Stones where it's iffy. He'll probably play, but he definitely is carrying some injury concerns.
Hey everybody, Gerry here with an update as far as injuries go. Press conferences were today. Apparently Aguero and De Bruyne both trained for City today without problems, so they could be available for our match with them. Anyway, there's your update. Back to the show. Sorry about that.
So, Terry, how are you feeling about playing Pep, even though we are facing them with some injuries?
I'm pretty calm, to be honest. I mean,
yeah.
I think everyone except that other team who were in first that you mentioned, everyone else when they play Man City now, it's just a free game. There's no harder game this season than Man City away. So all the players need to do is just go, right, well, there's a lot of players missing. Doesn't usually seem to bother City. They could probably do well in this league with their under-23s, but yeah, see how we get on. I mean, there's no reason to stress over it. I mean, it's still early in the season. It won't massively impact what we want to do overall. We won't be the only team to lose them if we do, and as you say, just between us and a few of 1,000 of our friends on YouTube, I sort of feel like we've got Everton this week, not we've got City, because if they beat us, it's not that big of a deal, is it? Considering this is the one game you'll probably get where I'm like, but no, this is a good game to say to the players, say, listen, those other games, they're gone. We've had some disappointing results the last 3 games. You will never get a lower pressure match than this one. Just go out and play your football, see how you get on. We've done well against City historically, even after they've been taken over. We have beaten Pep's Man City 4-0. Last season, the all-conquering Man City, we were one of the very few teams to take points off them early in the season. I wouldn't like to see a performance like that again because, God, it was hard to watch. We were back against the wall. But we are one of the teams who Man City turn up to play and they go, okay, it's Everton. Game face on. We are not one of the teams that they take as granted to beat, put it that way. So, see how we get on.
Max, I checked our away record this season. It's not fantastic, and City's home record is pretty sound in terms of goals allowed, goals scored, all that. Which again, I feel like this is to be expected from a strong team. Whatever. Do you actually think, though, because we've had 2 straight matches at home where it was a little bit underwhelming in terms of our performance and our result, that maybe going, Terry mentioned it's a low-pressure game. I actually think it's less pressure going to the Etihad rather than going back to Goodison after those 2 back-to-back disappointing performances. What do you think, Max?
Arguably, yeah, you could put that case forward. Coming off the back of a Champions League game, though, obviously, and we mentioned that 2-1 win against Tottenham, they haven't been perfect by any measure at home in the Champions League, so, fingers crossed coming into this game that they might have a bit of a hangover in that sense, but it's Manchester City, isn't it? In my opinion, the best Premier League side I've ever seen. I'm a Pep Guardiola fanboy. I grew up watching his teams and absolutely idolising the way he played football, and I think he's implemented that philosophy absolutely perfectly into this group of superstars, isn't it, really? You never quite know what 11 they're going to field, but either way, every man's pretty much going to be world class. As Terry said, our record, and particularly for me growing up, our record is always very solid against Manchester City. Obviously, that comes more from the David Moyes era, so it's a completely different group of players. But as mentioned, and even that 4-0 win against Guardiola, that was arguably a different group of players too. But I think this, the Brazilian contingent, the South Americans, Andre Gomez, I don't know. I feel like they'll be very well equipped to face a Pep Guardiola side. I think, a lot of them are obviously schooled in the Barcelona philosophy. A lot of them are very capable footballers, and with our last few performances against the big six away from home and any indicator, we should be giving Manchester City a really good game here, and fingers crossed we'll get something from the game.
That's a really good point. Sorry, Gerry. The South American players, the big name players we brought in, they want to play these games. This is why they're here. They haven't come to play Watford at home. The likes of even like Luca Dean and the clubs he's played for, Yerry Mina, Richarlison, Bernard, they all want to play these. These are the games they look forward to. We as supporters look forward to the sort of lesser games because they're more likely to get the wins in. Well, I suppose, but yeah, that's a great point, that Max. This might be the game where you see the best out of some players because these are the games they dream of when they arrive in the Premier League.
In order for your team, in order for a club to start making a dent and making a mark on the world, these are the matches that people notice.
Of course.
These are the ones. And I joked earlier about not wanting to play it. I want to play this.
Yeah, well,
we show up and we get a good result.
We've seen it.
All of a sudden, everybody's like, "Oh, we have to look at them now."
We've seen the cracks in their armour, haven't we? Lately, as of late, we mentioned that Chelsea game where, as long as you're not penned into your own half by them, and you have efficient spells in attacking positions, you can hurt them. You look at that Watford game as well. The last few minutes of that Watford game where Watford got that goal and shook them up. It's not the impossible task as it was last season. I think, our standards have improved drastically. They are still, obviously, they're still the best team in England. I know they're not top at the minute, but so. They're still the best team in England. We are on the up, I think, most definitely, despite our last couple of results. Yeah. Fingers crossed this isn't a catastrophic 5-0 loss that plunges us down even more. Well, I've got confidence and faith in this group of players that they believe this is a game where they can make a statement.
Yeah, and I don't know, guys. I know some people are legitimately. I don't know how serious they are, but they're mentioning about if we lose, then it's better. It's worse for the Reds. I just can't think like that. You know what I mean? For me, it's like they have plenty of time to choke. You know what I mean? Plenty of time. Us beating City is not. I'm worried about us continuing improvement and going out there to actually get a win, to get 3 points. That's what we've been doing this season. We go against bigger teams and we're genuinely saying, yeah, you're good, and we're going to try to beat you. Instead of, oh my God, let's change our formation, let's change everything and just try to make sure we just block all their shots and clog their passing lanes. We're not doing that anymore.
We've still got to respect this side, though. I don't feel it's not a game we can go gung ho. I think we'll have to do a few man marking jobs.
You know what we did against Chelsea, though? The little tweak that we made against Chelsea, it was not significant. It was very small. We kept our game plan, but we didn't do an enormous formation shift. It was very subtle, and that took Jorginho out of the game. So I think it'll be subtle changes like that.
Yeah, it's. I mean, quick disclaimer. I know I said that at the beginning. I actually don't want to lose this, but
I didn't think you did.
just jumping off what you said then as well. Like, remember the way we've played against the top 6 teams when we've gone away this season. It's only after this weekend's game. It's only Tottenham we need to go away to. We've been really unlucky in pretty much all the ones so far. We've played really well at Arsenal, and they got an offside goal at a crucial moment. Played really well at Man United, but they got a penalty they shouldn't have got. We got a draw at Chelsea, played really well, and we should have got a draw against Liverpool, but we're just touched by a curse that we've got on us playing at Anfield. Every single one of those games we could have had a draw, or even better in some cases. Wouldn't it be just peak Everton to go away to the best team in the country and actually get the rub of the green and have it come off and beat them? I mean, they are a fantastic team, but we've gone against other fantastic teams and made them work really hard. And in a lot of cases, they needed bailing out by either poor referees or the footballing gods in the most recent case.
Yeah, I will say City are a team I respect. All right, I have a lot of respect for them in terms of the way they play. I've gotten to the point before with Pep, I was kind of indifferent. I was like, yeah, he's a good coach, whatever. The more that I watched that entire All or Nothing series, and I was totally brainwashed by it because he just seems awesome. You know,
he's the best manager of all time. Best manager of all time, and Man City give me an education, so in that sense, I've got to respect him.
Like, it's with him, it's I don't fully always, because he's so like hyper, you know. It's like I don't fully always understand where he's trying to go with what he's saying when you see him like actually giving instruction on the field. I'm trying to understand where he's going with it, but he's like so hyper, and he's speaking like his own language to his players who understand him now. That is just, I don't know. I genuinely smile every time I hear an interview with him. And when they asked him about, was it Xavi? Who was it who said that working with him was Dani Alves? Yes, that was better than sex.
I know.
And then Pep does that long pause. I prefer the sex.
By
far.
That was good.
I was just sitting there thinking, how could we tempt him before the game? We're like, hey, Pep, there's this little dressing room right over here. It's if you just like a free sex sign, go in here, stay there. You know what though? His players are probably so well instructed though, it wouldn't even matter.
He developed. That's just something about him. He has this ability within him to develop players so well. It's unbelievable. Just look at Raheem Sterling. Like the leaps Raheem Sterling has took, and his technical ability, his physical ability, all since Pep Guardiola's arrived at the club, it's literally incredible.
Probably going to be Ederson in goal. Walker, Stones, Aymeric Laporte, Delph possibly playing left back because Mendy is out, I believe. Bernardo Silva. Fernandinho, Ilkay Gundogan, Sterling, Gabriel Jesus, Sané. I mean, they've got really good players are out. But this looks like a team, you know what I mean? This looks like a team that could easily still win the league, you know, with these players. You know, people you got to look out for. I mean, obviously Sané, Sterling, and Jesus up front. Bernardo Silva is just a really intelligent player.
Gundogan.
Yeah.
Give him some credit, please. He deserves it.
What do you mean? I don't see him scoring lots of goals. No, he's a player that I think a lot of people, because he plays that position that doesn't get a lot of as much respect. It's like you have to have watched a lot of football. You know, and I think Walker up the flank is difficult to contain. He does have some speed and some strength. They're just solid all the way around. And yeah, This is one of those moments though where we have a good manager now, and he usually comes up with good game plans, puts us in a position if our guys can actually execute. That's the question: will we execute? So, we'll talk a little bit about our starting 11 versus City in the next segment. So stay tuned for that. Anything else about the City preview though?
No, bring it on.
Yeah. Oh no, we have to give predictions. Damn, guys.
Oh, fucking hell.
I think maybe psychologically I was avoiding this sort of subconsciously, just trying to skate past it. How brave are we on this segment? Max, let's hear your prediction.
I think I'm going, so I'd love to pick us to win. I'm going to say 2-2.
2-2?
Yeah.
All right. Terry?
I'm going to go for a very optimistic 1-1.
Well, now I feel like a dick. I'm picking a 2-0 loss.
Not that bad.
I still feel like a jerk. I never pick us to lose because I usually don't think we're going to lose. But I think even when teams play good games against City, they can still win 2-0. And you may have played a solid game. So I expect us to perform. I do. I don't think we're going to look like shit. I do think we're going to lose. I don't want to. But yeah, because we still have a lot of growth. I hope you guys are right. Actually, no. I hope we're all wrong.
We win.
There we go. Yeah. Yeah, 3 points would be, God, that'd make the weekend. Come on, guys. All right. So I guess that's it for our Man City preview. If you've been digging the videos, please subscribe to the Toffee Blues YouTube channel. We are creeping ever slowly toward 1,400 subs, so be there soon. So thank you. If you want to read some of Terry's words, you can check the Liverpool Echo fan Gerry, or just check out his Twitter. Yeah, because he's tweeting all the time. But he'll, at the very least, he'll tell you where you'll be able to see, his analysis. Max, same thing with Max. Check his Twitter. He'll tell you which pods he's showing up on videos. In his analysis, he's got several places where he gives written analysis, but also on the Toffee Blues website. All right, all things Everton there. So, guys, let's move on to the Man City starting 11 segment. So, bye.